Now, you can understand why it is important to have a person to lead the choir, and that person that will lead the choir must be trained and understand leadership and also understand music. All right, I've been to a couple of choirs so many times where you see people tell you, yeah, we are equal, we don't have anybody who is anything, we are all good singers, we are trying our best, to sing for God, so just take us as you see us. Now, being that choir, first of all, you can't grow there because there is nobody that is molding opinions of everybody. There's nobody who anybody is looking up to. Everybody is just trying to contribute without anybody trying to take the lead. Now, in that kind of choir, there's no responsibility. Nobody takes responsibility. Okay, I'm the one in charge, yo. If something goes wrong, I will be responsible. I'm the one that is taking the blame for this failure. All right, so that's what happened in that kind of choir. I've been to a choir where everybody is a nice guy, right? But they don't agree to anything. Somebody could be singing and then someone can just say, hey, you are not singing well now, you are singing off key. So the person you are talking to, the spirit dies because it's not coming from the leader, it's coming from somebody who is just among the choristers there. In that kind of a choir, you see people trying to put down others as if it is their right to do so, and because no choir master is there or choir mistress is there will be no coordination to okay, you know what, before you would even say anything, all right, write it out and send it to your choir mistress, or tell the choir mistress, excuse me, I have something to say. This person that is singing, I don't think she's singing right, I think she's singing off key. They will ask, okay, let me tell him or let me tell her. So when corrections during choir practice or during administration come from the choir mistress, it is better related. All right, the people that are being corrected are able to take it than when it comes from other choristers in that choir. You have to understand this, because this is where the beefing starts. This is where hatred starts. When anybody in the choir can get up and say, no, sing like that, they are spoiling the song. Come on now, why are you singing off key? From anybody, maybe somebody who doesn't like you. So you see people busting out with a lot of issues. So it is important that the choir should have leadership. So if your choir doesn't have leadership, it is good for everybody to sit down and choose a leader, or tell your pastor to choose a leader for you, and whoever the pastor chooses, you guys should align yourself to go with the person. Now also, there are some churches where they don't need only a choir master, they need a choir master and a choir pastor. Why? Because in most cases the choristers begin to become too familiar with the choir master that even when he talks, mostly if he's the kind of person that plays a lot, that discusses a lot, that takes sides a lot, all right, that has favorites in the choir, after a while the choir becomes too free with him. He will make a statement and no one will take it serious. Now when something happens in the choir, it can't be solved when that kind of choir master that is weak is there. So what happens? The choir pastor is the one that intervenes and in most cases suspends the choir master or suspends the people that are involved and makes some corrections in the choir so that the choir can move on. Now bear in mind that in the church, the choir is not just a physical responsibility, it's spiritual. People's life depends on the music they hear and how it ministers to them. So that means it has to be treated with both physical consciousness and spiritual consciousness, so that the people that are in the choir are able to sit up to responsibility of delivering their service both to God and to the audience. Like I used to say every now and then, in the choir, in the church, the choir is not only loyal to God. The levels of hierarchy in the church where your loyalty must fall to. First of all loyalty is to God, but in the church, the choir is also loyal to the church leadership, also to the pastor. So that means you must learn to take instruction and follow authority. No matter how small the choir, even if there's only 3 members in that choir, they've got to be a leader. They've got to be somebody who is like, okay, let's take this. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's gather together so time. When there is leadership, there is direction. And if there is a problem with the leadership of the choir will have no direction. So that means if the leader is not doing right, he should be replaced or she should be replaced. I mean, I have seen a lot of choir that has been disbanded and reassigned. Why? Because that particular choir was not doing well. Some issues were wrong with that choir, so the pastor had to now intervene and say, no, this is becoming too carnal. All of you are disbanded. Oh yeah, let us start afresh. Take 6 months, no choir. I will sing by myself, me and my wife, and so on and so forth. So it is always important to have leadership in the choir, and the leader of every choir must have certain level of training. You should be trained. You should understand leadership. You should understand delegation. You should understand how to hold your ground and be firm when you are sure of something. You should understand how to get feedbacks. You understand how to get information among the choristers without having a favorite among them. Every church should have a choir master, a choir leader, a music director. That will help to mold the direction or to form the direction of the choir. And if a choir has leadership, you see that everything that is done, somebody will be held responsible for it. If the choir sings right, somebody gets the glory, which also spread to the choir. If the choir does not do well, somebody gets to face the brunt. And then in most cases can be improved, changed, or can be removed.